Hey, what's up guys, my name is Charlie. Today we're going to be reacting to some more nostalgia critic, and it's going to be Ghost Rider. Oh yes, Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage. Mwah, love it. I don't know what you're thinking. Oh my god, Charlie, you can't be serious. Ghost Rider is terrible. It's absolutely god-awful. Yeah, I can agree on that. Ghost Rider for some may think, this movie is absolutely hot garbage. But you know what's more garbage? Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, the second Ghost Rider movie. I think we can all agree the second movie was even fucking worse. I think we can all find common ground on the second movie was absolutely god awful fucking atrocious. Not even Nicolas Cage could save that movie. But with the Ghost Rider movie, I really enjoyed this one, mostly because I'm a goofball and I like the goofy special effects, and I like Nicolas Cage bad movies. Okay, don't judge. I like bad movies. They help me relax. It's so nice to watch bad movies, good bad movies. That is, not bad movies for the sake of being bad. But I remember watching Ghost Rider, Christ, what was it, back in 2008. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I've watched it still today, of course, but that was the earliest I watched it, was 2008. Um, Christ, yeah, that's a long time ago, for me anyway. 2008, I remember this. The Ghost Rider movie helped me introduce me into the Marvel comics of Ghost Rider. I believe they called it like what was it? The Phantom Rider or something like that. The Phantom Rider. What was it always back then? It was always the damn Phantom. It was always like the Phantom Menace or the Phantom Chicken Sandwich. Oh Christ, I don't know what's up with that sort of Phantom era back then. But yeah, it introduced me into the Marvel comics, which I really do appreciate because I didn't know there were Ghost Rider comics. So this helped me sort of introduce me into that, and I like reading comics here and there. I'm not a major nerd comic sort of fan that has to collect all the comics. I'm not that sort of nerdy. I just enjoy reading them here and there. I find them kind of refreshing because sometimes the action scenes in the comic books where you see the picture, with their still frame, there's a lot of quality in the pictures. You don't really get that in the movie, because everything's always pacing, everything's always sort of moving forward and rushing. You can't just sit there and enjoy it. You can't just pause the movie and enjoy the scene. No, the movie scenes are just going forward. So it's kind of nice to sit down and just look at the artwork and stuff like that. But yeah, I enjoyed Ghost Rider, the Nicolas Cage movie. I confess my sins. I'm guilty. My soul's gonna be burned. But yeah, I just want to explain myself because I have a feeling a lot of people are gonna say this movie sucks. And I agree, it does suck, but it's my sucky. It's my sucky Nicolas Cage movie. But yeah, let's check out the video, shall we? Let's go.
Hello? Hey, Jerry, yeah, I'm doing the thing for the Nostalgia Critic. What do you mean I'm not getting paid? Okay, hold on. Are you telling me that I won't be getting paid for this?
Wow.
Nicolas Cage.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. I've heard of worse ways to try and get Nicolas Cage into the Avengers.
I enjoyed this movie, I
guess
really
Nicolas
did.
Cage was so good at making it look like his skull was burning out of his face that this seemed like an inevitable decision. Ghost
Some
Rider,
bits were
based on the
boring,
famous Marvel
but
comic
I really
series,
enjoyed
is arguably the fucking coolest looking thing conceived since Bacon Robot Demon Slayer. It's mine!
Copyright.
So how can an idea as friggin' awesome as this possibly go astray? Well, getting the writer and director of Daredevil, Elektra, and Jack Frost is a good fucking start. Yeah, the guy who made something that's supposed to be adorable terrifying and
I
something
like
that's
that
supposed to
movie.
be terrifying adorable.
Don't diss that movie.
Wearing
Jack
good
Frost
fucking
was a good
hands.
movie.
Let's finish off Nicolas Cage month with Ghost Rider.
Like I
The
said,
movie
I like a
starts
lot
with
of bad
Sam Elliott
movies.
giving an opening narration, which immediately makes me think we're watching a Chevy truck commercial.
It's said that the West was built on legends, tall tales that help us make sense of things too great or too terrifying to believe. This is the legend of the Ghost Rider.
And I'm talking about the dude here. He speaks of a person who did the devil's bidding until he came across a contract of 1,000 souls.
But that contract was so powerful, he knew he could never let the devil get
Only
his
1,000
hands on
souls.
it.
1,000
So
souls
a
is
sheet of
powerful.
paper is the big end-all this
What
movie
about a
has to
million
offer,
souls?
Because there's nothing
Not
more
thousands.
terrifying than legal ramifications.
So he did what no rider has ever done before.
That's
He
right.
outran the devil himself.
Wow.
So what you're saying is the devil in this world is a pretty lame one.
The thing about legends is, sometimes they're true.
Wow,
And
epicness.
sometimes there's a man. Okay, I'm getting my Big Lebowski jar here, because trust me, I'm gonna need it.
Lebowski jar.
Thus, the credits burn through the screen to reveal Bowser's Castle on level 4 of Mario Kart. Here we go!
Yeah, it's done something.
Look out for the association with relativity.
What was the character's name again? Like Johnny Cage or
Cut to
something?
years later as we see a young daredevil named Johnny Blaze.
Oh, Johnny Blaze.
Partaking in a father and son act, presumably called the
Why did I
Flaming
say Johnny
Speed
Cage?
Racers. But his father doesn't like how he's trying to impress his girlfriend in the audience.
You're already screwing around. I was just doing it for the crowd. Both know why you done it. You think she's gonna stand by you when you're in a wheelchair? Huh, hotshot?
I
Wow.
never would have expected a daredevil would be such a show. But things get complicated when his
It's a
girlfriend
risky
named
business.
Roxanne, played by Eve Mendes, tells her beau that she has to leave. And is it me, or are you waiting for Albert Finney's Big Fish narration to take over any minute?
We'll jump on the back and just keep going. Tomorrow, noon.
It's like a young Tom Cruise from Top Gun.
It was then that I realized my adventures have just begun. All leading up to when I dressed in drag on that island in Summer Isle. That was a weird weekend.
He discovers, though, that he can't leave because his father found out he's dying of cancer.
Yeah,
which is
pretty
news
sad.
to a certain horned one's ears, played by Peter Fonda.
Worried about your father. The thing about cancer is the time it takes. Plans that have to be changed.
I couldn't help but notice your cartoonishly silly shadow.
One more like
Are you
Scooby-Doo
perchance a
cartoon effects.
Muppet of sorts?
Would you be willing to make a deal?
Name your price.
I'll take
That bike.
your soul.
I knew it. You're from Google, aren't you? Look, I already signed up for Google Plus even though I don't need it. How much more control of my life do you want? Blaze agrees,
I
of course, to make a
fucking Google
contract
Plus.
with him, and his father is miraculously saved from certain death, only to accidentally slip into certain death.
Dad.
Oh, gee, who would have thought you can't
Wow.
trust the devil?
Who would have
You're no
thought that?
good to me, Dad.
The finger of death.
You killed him.
I awkwardly asked you to pull my finger in defiance.
I'll be watching.
So the devil claims him as his property, which means he can't run off with his girlfriend. He
Damn.
doesn't even give her an excuse. He just looks at her and rides off like the wind or rain or some bullshit, and we cut ahead years later to the reveal of our star, the Cage Man. He's transformed into the most famous daredevil in the world, but his helpers question how he's been able to survive so many injuries without a scratch for so long.
You should be taking a dirt nap after that ragdoll today.
I got lucky.
You got an angel looking after you.
Yeah, maybe.
What's the end?
The angel of death.
Five-card draw.
Wait for it. Wait for it. There we go. The scary
Maybe
skull
it's-
face.
Maybelline.
But not too far away, we get the reveal of our main villain, played by Wes Bentley. I just like doing that at random, you know, just walking across empty desert and suddenly going, rah! I mean, it
Yeah.
may seem pointless to you, but if there happened to be a camera in front of me, it may possibly scare a 7-year-old, but not an adult because that'd be childishly silly. But I'm gonna keep doing it because, you know, it's fun. It's just my thing, you know. It's just me.
It is silly. But then again, it is sort of like
I'm
a
gonna get you.
comic
I'm gonna
sort
get you.
of.
And yes, folks, this is what the villain of our movie looks like. Because isn't this who you want to see Nicolas fucking Cage go up against? That bag filming pussy from American Beauty. Oh yeah, it's just as good as when they teamed up Vin Diesel against Kat Dennings, or Dwayne The Rock Johnson against Tyler Perry as Medea,
Christ.
or Mark Wahlberg against that snowman from Frozen. Don't underestimate him, he bites. So he takes out Curly of Hell's
I don't know,
Stages
you
and calls
expect him
upon
from
his
someone
minions
like
and
out of
rejected
Twilight.
Matrix concept art. While that's going on, Cage
Still,
gets settled
this
into
movie's
his
still a
garage
better
where
love
he
story
looks to
than
relax
Twilight,
before
so.
his next big stunt.
Oh, I see you still haven't gotten the lock for your lift. That's great, great. You got a lot of expensive bikes in here, man. I told you. Well, JB, I said it before, I'll say it again. This place could use a woman's touch.
So could you.
All right, 4 out
Damn.
of 5. Wreck one more and you get the whole set. I actually want to talk to you about something kind of serious. It's about you jumping on the anniversary of your dad's accident.
Yeah, let's see. What other exposition did I miss out here? Oh, books. Yeah, books. You still like to read books, JB, on this, the anniversary of your father's death?
I'm trying to relax, Mac.
Yeah, I understand. All right, it's just gonna take a second.
And I'm not even
Where's the
kidding.
jelly
I
beans?
swear to God, I'm not making this up. Cage's idea of relaxing in this movie
Yep.
is pouring jelly beans
Jelly
into
beans.
a martini glass
I was waiting
and
for that.
laughing at videos of monkeys doing karate.
That's totally me. Who doesn't like jelly beans?
You know, why is it I get the feeling that Nicolas Cage wouldn't do this movie unless the specific setup was in it?
Yeah,
Would it really
free jelly
surprise you?
beans and free comedy.
Unfortunately, Mr. Cage, we were unable to write in a scene where you juggle flaming ukuleles and sculpt kitty litter.
However, we did get that scene for you where you drink Jelly Bellies and watch monkeys practicing Kung Fu.
Oh yeah, 10 out of 10.
Were you at least able to have me surfing elephant breath while eating my dreams?
No, Mr. Cage, that's impossible to visualize.
Idiots! Freeze the elephant breath into a solid mass. Then, okay, I want you to create a machine
That's kind of a
that
good
can
sort of
take
Nicolas Cage
dreams
accent.
and make them
It's doing pretty
physical so
decent.
that I can consume them for nourishment. Is that so hard?
Mr. Cage, I'm sorry,
pretty
but
good
unfortunately our budget
impersonation.
will only allow for Jelly Bellies and Monkey Kung Fu.
Very well. I'll just see how my demands are being met on Wicker Man.
Wicker Man, you wanted to what in a bear costume?
So he's just about to do his biggest stunt when he comes across his old flame, Roxanne, who's now a reporter. And he gives
We all know
many would
what happened
consider
when he was
very
in a bear
typical
costume.
Nicolas Cage
Punched a
interview.
woman.
Johnny, what drives somebody to risk their life for entertainment?
I heard you got married.
Most of the time, the press focuses on the crashes, the broken bones, the cost of what you do. Are there any other costs?
She was in that Will Smith movie, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Why do I get a terrible feeling that this demonic hellspawn of
Hitch.
fire
I think
and
it was
awesomeness
Hitch,
is
the
just
movie
gonna be
Hitch.
a guy waking up for 2 hours? So he does his jump, but realizes he wanted to talk to Roxanne some more.
Pull over! I can green screen some more effects if you want. Hold on. Why don't I make it
Someone-
more convincing
someone
by
use
adding
a
the
train
Na'vi
scene.
and Jar Jar Binks to the mix?
Someone just used a train scene and just hit him, like they did with the Wicker Man.
So he finally stops them, and he has a nice long conversation with her.
Look, you were 17 and you witnessed a tragedy and you ran. And I understand now like I understood then. And I have no hard feelings, none, you know? And that's why they call it the past, because it's past. It's done. It's over with.
I call this the if I did in real life I'd probably be arrested kiss. It worked great in the Notebook.
8 o'clock.
So, Cage is finally on a date,
Of
and
course.
after years and years of regret and
Nicolas Cage
frustration
doesn't even
suddenly
have to
giving him
try.
another chance,
You know, women
what
just
does
fall
Cage
to his
do with
feet.
this opportunity? Show up late because he's too busy looking at himself in the mirror.
Yeah.
You deserve a second chance.
Typical Cageism. This makes Roxanne so upset that she checks her magic 8-ball.
Who
Wait,
carries a
what?
magic 8-ball? Well, I got a magic 8-ball. It was
Movie, that's teenage My Little Pony fanfiction bad.
Oh, Christ.
Is there also an anvil in her purse to knock herself out in case she sees something else that might shock her? Oh my god!
That is
That's what I
silly.
used
It
to
is
like.
goofy. I agree. It is.
But Cage is interrupted from his incredibly important mirror watching by the fires of Fonda, who now tells him that Cage, as the writer, must stop his son from getting the contract which he spontaneously now for some reason decides he wants. I guess you just hit puberty and you suddenly want the contract of 1,000 souls. Go figure.
You're under contract, remember? If you succeed, I'll return your soul.
You know, I guess it's kind of fitting seeing how Easy Rider is passing on a mission to difficult in any way to get emotionally attached Rider.
This is badass.
So the Devil's Son and his droogs try to locate Cage, but come across a man and his lantern. Oh, for fuck's sake, movie. When the flying hell does anyone carry a lantern? Unless
Yeah.
you're in the Haunted Mansion or a Scooby-Doo
Was
episode,
this
you use a
1940?
fucking flashlight!
You really shouldn't be here. That's what they keep telling me.
But Cage
I feel
drops
sorry
in
for
as he
that guy.
finally starts to
He didn't deserve
transform
to
into
die.
the Ghost Rider.
The most epic scene ever. It's honest to God,
And there's
this
no
is
CG being
amazing.
used here, folks. Cage can just set himself ablaze whenever he's asked.
Look at that. That is fucking awesome.
And I'm not gonna lie, when Ghost Rider is on screen,
Oh,
it's pretty
it's so...
fucking awesome.
Yeah, come on, admit it,
Looking for
guys. Look at
someone-
that. That's fucking awesome. That is amazingly awesome.
Granted, his voice isn't really anything that interesting,
Yeah,
but
but
then
still.
again, I guess it would be even stranger if it was still Cage's voice coming out.
Yeah.
You turn me on, brum. You
Yeah, it
turn
would be
me on,
strange.
brum. You're not too tall, you're not too short, you're not too round, brum.
So the
Yeah.
writer is ready to kick some ass until he's nailed by Nicolas Cage's greatest arch nemesis. What is it with Nicolas Cage and trucks? If he's not dreaming about them hitting little girls, he's getting hit by them in real life. Maybe Optimus Prime just likes punking with celebrities.
Come on, Autobots. Let's scare the shit out of Whoopi Goldberg next.
But Cage does manage to get out and get his revenge.
Ashes to asses,
Damn.
dust to fuck. You should have hit me with that goddamn truck.
So after chasing the evil Planeteers away, he tours around town trying to take even more evil souls to hell.
Well, he's
One of them,
setting the town
understandably
ablaze.
trying to
So.
axe off Rebel Wilson.
Thanks.
I'm off to ask Conan O'Brien to finance a horrible sitcom.
Your soul is stained by the blood of the innocent.
Well, you
Wow,
have
damn.
no lips, and yet somehow you still form consonants.
Feel their pain.
So he takes his soul to hell, has himself a good sleep, and ends up in a cemetery. Owned by, of course, Sam Elliott, who knows all about him.
Did I say something funny?
We're big on irony around here. Out by the shed.
Oh yeah, I
boo,
forgot.
boo, boo.
It's Sam Elliott, a man who's made a mumbling dialect from his
Yeah, it's
inability
mumbling.
to eat his own
I like the
mustache.
mumbling.
Don, I got a nice cozy spot picked out for you.
I mean, is that some sort of Eastern thing? Things are made much better when
I don't know, it gives
Cage
him a
and
lot of
Elliott
personality,
have to
the
carry on a
mumbling.
conversation of mumbles.
One deal at a time.
Sterling.
Pen stare.
Peter stare.
Sterilize that for me. Sears the souls of the wicked.
Jesus! I've had a better time understanding the Wookiees in the Star Wars Christmas special!
I kind of like the deep sort of voice though. It's very manly.
Fallen angels
Gotta admit, it's very,
cast
very
out of
manly.
heaven by Saint Michael himself.
So he tells him that the Devil's Son and his minions were angels cast out of heaven. And also, we learn the name of the Devil's Son too. You ready for this? No, seriously, are you ready for this? It's pretty funny.
What's this have to do with Blackheart?
Blackheart.
Okay, I am totally convinced that this was originally a Care Bears cartoon. I mean, think about
Oh,
it. The
come
silly
on.
shadow, the guy with the lantern, the fucking 8-ball.
Yeah,
This is all stuff you'd see in a preschool Saturday morning
True.
lineup. And now, the
We all
villain's
know how
name
bad
is
Care Bears
Blackheart?
movie was.
Fucking Blackheart? It's like calling your villain Dark Bad or Mean Poop. I mean, with all this talk of the devil and fallen angels and such, do you really think that this part made it into the Bible? Do you think that was actually the devil child's name? Well, I don't want to step on anyone's religious toes, so let's just double check it to be sure.
It's the Bible.
Oh wow. Revelations 2010. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, along with his son, tee-hee-ha-ha, his son, Pwith heckle-heckle, I can't believe I'm saying this, his son, Blackheart, plah-ha-ha, okay guys, who's punking me? Wow, God does have a sense of humor.
Yeah, you got something. He created us, so he must have has a sense of humor. So everything in the opposite direction.
Tired of cleaning the house with those oily rags that just seem to move the dirt around? Well, why don't you try Sam Wow, the only towel endorsed by Sam Elliott.
What
the
the
instructions are very simple.
There's a little pop figure up there. A little pop vinyl sort of
Okay then.
collectible.
And, just as Sam mentioned, Sam Wow
What the hell is
works
it doing on
any
top of a
surface,
damn fridge?
Except for latex, which would cause a burning reaction if it came in contact with human skin.
Oh! Oh!
Oh my god! Help me! What do I do?
Wash it under soapy water? Banana.
Just speak English, you geriatric
Help.
Yosemite Sam!
Don't you hurt me, you son of a bitch!
Just help me! Just help me!
Oh. Wow, that's one way to sell a commercial.
You didn't see anything, did you, Mr. Cameraman?
Nope.
Well, that's not
I love how we shook our heads at the
Sam
same time.
Wow, because somebody needs to soak up all that blood. And remember,
Hush, madame, hush, madame. Say, friend, you got more of that good sarsaparilla?
God bless that deep voice. Gotta admit, it's very manly though. Even though you can't
So after
understand
Cage
it.
realizes he can summon fire through his fist and try to scare himself in the mirror. Hey, to be
Hey,
fair, it's
Spider-Man
scarier
did
than
the
this.
same thing.
Dude,
I mean,
I'm gonna get
Spider-Man
ya,
went,
I'm gonna get
go web, go.
He
You know,
apologizes
he
to
did
Roxanne,
that.
who, rightfully so, isn't pleased that
Fly,
he abandoned
up,
her
up, up and
once
away
again.
with. He did that sort of
That
thing.
is, until later that night when she realized that she somehow was wrong.
I came to apologize. I'm leaving town tonight, and I didn't want what I said today to be the last words between us.
That's okay.
No, it's not.
Lady, what the fuck is wrong with you? You have nothing to apologize for. This is
Yeah.
the guy who abandoned you when you were gonna run away forever with him and then never showed up when he was trying to make amends. Mostly because he was just staring at himself in the goddamn mirror. He seems to do a lot of that in this movie. These are big asshole issues, and yet you constantly treat it
Well,
like
he
you
has
spilled
no soul,
mustard on your
so
dress or something.
you expect him to be kind
at least
and
she's saying
innocent. He's
goodbye
not
and
a
isn't
soul.
dumb enough to spontaneously go back to him. Bitch, what is wrong with you? I've seen games of Pong that don't go back and forth as much as you do. And still, what does Cage end up doing?
I think I should walk into your car.
Well,
Okay,
he's gonna spend
I've
his
never
whole
seen
entire
landing
life
lights more clearly
being a
labeled to get
soul
the fuck
collector.
out of a relationship, and yet she still tries to fight for his heart.
You almost kill yourself on the highway so you can ask me out, and then you don't show. Then you keep my picture, but when I kiss you, you try to shove me out the door. What's... Don't you care about me at all, John?
Movie plot.
The way I, in no logical sense, care for you. So, he finally gives her a logical explanation.
He's
She can at
gay.
least comprehend.
That's his explanation.
Soul,
He's gay.
Well, most women would kick you in the rocks for saying something so stupid.
should've
but
just
throw
said you
an
were
eyebrow
gay,
like
man.
that, and suddenly you go from Ghost Rider to Flynn Rider.
For the devil.
Well, yeah, I'm his bounty hunter. They're only having
If
some
you would have
night.
just said you were gay, she
Like
would
it
have
is
left
right
you
now.
there then, and everything
So
would have been
tonight,
better.
you'll-
But now you're saying you sold your soul to the devil. You look like a mad,
I believe
insane,
so.
crazy
Which is
person.
why it's probably a very good idea that you run on home now, Roxanne.
Look, this worked when I broke up with 8 other chicks. I'm not sure why it's having no effect on you.
I realize that you'd rather make up ridiculous stories than be honest with me.
She does end up not believing him, big surprise, so I guess
What a
it's time for some
surprise.
proof. Wait a minute! A few minutes ago you were shooting flames out of your fist, and now you're just hoping she trusts your fucking word? Would you believe me if I said I was Superman?
Oh
Well,
god.
the cops figure out
Not
he's the one
Superman
ripping
with
up
a
the
bloody
town and
Nicolas
throw him
Cage
in
face
jail,
plastered
which
on
causes
it.
him to start going crazy from being around so much evil.
Looks like somebody's tripping out. You might be a big shot out there, Blaze, but in here you're nothing but a monkey in a cage.
And don't you know, you don't put a monkey in a cage, you put a cage in a bear. It just makes more sense.
Oh
So all
boy.
the evil brings out the writer, and once again, it's pretty badass to watch.
It is.
But sadly, the badassness meter decreases when you remember he's going up against Team Hot Topic.
Oh yeah, the Twilight team. Oh Christ.
You just love my toxic love.
Things don't get much better when the police start to hunt him down. But he has an awesome way out of that too.
Get over here!
Yeah. Scorpion.
Okay. Apologies, Captain, but apparently I was pissing off the flaming skull. I'm gonna go to McDonald's now.
Yeah, go to the McDonald's. You may wanna. Of course.
So he
the
takes
fire
out Bob,
wings.
James Franco, Marley, and starts heading back.
Gotta admit, it's pretty badass. The animation and graphics. I know it's all CGI, but gotta admit, it's pretty badass.
Okay, that was pretty fucking awesome. Throwing a few flaming doves on that one.
Yeah, the flaming dumps, of course.
Prepare to fire! And try not to hit the woman we let walk in front of us for some reason.
Ooh, damn.
So Roxanne makes her way to Cage's home because clearly no police would be looking for him there. I think the cops in this town mostly consist of this. And of course, Bag Filmer is waiting.
Roxanne.
Ooh, I
What's
almost
with the
got
scary
you. A little
face
bit of a
every
flinch
time?
there. A little bit of a flinch.
Nobody out handsome.
Flame on!
Your penance stare doesn't work on me. I have no soul to burn. I guess the caretaker forgot to mention that, huh?
He also forgot to mention that you can't choke a skeleton, but whatever. He knocks him down
He
and
can break
tells him
his
that he's
bones.
taking his lady friend.
You don't work for my father anymore. You work for me. Get the contract from the caretaker. Bring it to me in San Venganza.
I'll be waiting at the Spencer's Gifts where I work. So he goes back to Sam Elliott, who apparently has had the contract all along, but why the hell should he hand it over?
He may have my soul,
He may.
but he doesn't have my spirit.
Amen, brother.
And he's got the guts to sell his
You're
soul for
preaching.
love.
Hallelujah.
Got the power.
Hallelujah. Ooh.
Fucking A, this
Jeebus.
is My Little Pony fan fiction. Can't you just see an episode ending like that?
Anyone who would give their soul for love has the power to change the world. Isn't that right, Ghost Pony Rider?
What the fuck am I watching?
So Elliot reveals that he was the original writer and decides to ride with Cage, finally showing his true form. It's time to deliver a
fuck was
badass
that?
climax of fiery biblical proportions with these two.
This is
My
the
Little
end of the
Pony.
trail for me.
Huh?
This is
I
the end
got
of the
nothing
trail.
left.
End of the trail for me,
I
it's
could
got
only
nothing
change
left.
one more time, and I was saving it for this.
Wait a minute, you didn't save it to help him battle evil to save the world, you saved it to be a cool-looking GPS?
Ghost
to quote Cage
Riders
from an
in
earlier scene.
the sky.
Been trying to make things right ever since.
Thank you.
God knows I've made my share of mistakes.
I
Most
did not
recent one being
understand
wasting that
what
flaming
he
horse
said.
thing.
Thank you, kid.
Yeah, if I need directions to an all-night Taco Bell, I'll be sure to summon your blaze again. Or if I ever lose my cell phone in the dark, I'll call upon your fiery glow once more. I won't just use a flashlight. Or a lantern, which apparently we're still using this fucking dumbass universe. Starting to see why Stan Lee didn't cameo in this stupid piece of shit.
So Cage suits up to... How'd Brendan Fraser and the Mummy put it again?
Rescue the damsel in distress, kill the bad guy, and save the world.
Yep.
That. As he hands over the contract but finds he can't become the writer when the sun comes up. So the badass in the cool coat fights the
Hey,
whiny rebellious
Blade.
goth kid half
Yeah.
his age as little demons
I
fly
love
into his
Blade.
body, making him the most powerful
Blade
entity
is
in
so
the world.
badass.
I'm sorry, I was reciting the climax to Blade. How silly of me. Here's the climax to Ghost Rider. The badass in the cool coat fights the whiny rebellious goth kid half his age as little demons fly
Blade
into
is
his
one of my
body, making
favorite
him the
movies.
most powerful entity in the world.
Definitely in the
God,
top 10.
Silly me confusing the two.
My name is Legion,
Yeah, it's so cheesy.
for we are
It's so cheesy.
And seeing how we are many, we all took a vote to see if we should talk normally or stretch out our mouths. Like Dark Heart! Oh,
Enough with the fucking Dark Heart jokes. Come on,
so
man.
Cage tries to shoot him because, yeah, the most powerful thing in the world I'm sure can be stopped by a shotgun, which actually he kind of can. Weird. But he manages to get him in the shadows where his powers can still work.
1,000 souls to burn.
Yeah, he's...
Oh yeah, I probably should have thought about that whole becoming 1,000 souls in front of the guy who can kill 1,000 souls.
Yeah, you should have thought about that.
So Cage axes him off as the devil is pleased and offers him a chance to go back to normal.
You get your life back. The love you've always wanted. You can start a family of your own. Let someone else carry this curse. You're free now.
Must think of bullshit reason for sequel. Must find a way to ditch
Second
girlfriend
movie.
again.
Second movie.
I'm gonna own this curse. Whenever innocent blood is spilt, it'll be my father's blood. And you'll find me there. The spirit of vengeance.
I will make you pay for this.
I mean, you didn't put any emotion
The
in
Ghost
that
Rider
scene. I'm
Spirit
starting
of
to wonder if we
Vengeance
got the real Nicolas
explains the
Cage.
second movie.
This, of course, means abandoning his woman again. Only this time the reasons are even kind of stupider.
This is what you always were meant to be.
What?
Got your second chance.
A demon from
Don't
hell,
worry.
sort of
We'll meet under
turning
more
into a
embarrassing
flaming skull.
circumstances in Bad Lieutenant Port of Call, New Orleans.
And Cage rides off into the desert in the most cartoonishly weird
It's
way possible,
bad,
which is very
but
fitting seeing how the
I
rest
like
of this
the
movie was
aspect
pretty
of
much
this
like
movie.
one big cartoon. So that was Ghost Rider, and when there was actual Ghost Rider in it, it was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Maybe I'm just a sucker for the visual, but every time that skull is on screen,
Yeah,
the movie
I
seems
love
like
it.
pretty badass fun.
I don't think the
But in a surprising
it's all
Cage
great,
really
but
kind of underplayed.
there is enough
Which
silver
at times
lining
can
to
work
this
to
movie.
offset some of the strangeness,
Okay, that was weird.
but most of the time it's just boring. Maybe
Yeah.
he was hoping the contrast
Most-
of the
it
visual
is
to his
boring,
monotone
most of
delivery
it.
would even it out. But if the movie wanted to be more fun, he should have played it like Castor Troy or one of his other over-the-top roles.
Yeah.
And this is just sort of
I wanted to see more
the rest
crazy.
of the movie is all phoned-in comic book tricks. And not the fun, inventive ones. More the ones you've seen a million times, but the filmmakers think you're seeing for the first time for some reason. It's stupid, silly, cliched, which is usually fine for a Cage film, but in this case, it was just boring. And it takes a lot of skill to make a character as cool-looking as this boring. So yeah, Mr. Director, go back to scaring us with your creepy-ass snowman, because this stinker
Stop going
sure
on
ain't
about
keeping
fucking
anyone
Jack
away.
Frost. Jack Frost was a good movie.
Thanks for joining me for Nicolas
Christ.
Cage Month. I hope you enjoyed it, and, well, there's
Fucking
only one
Christ.
person fit enough to exit us out.
I like Jack
the
Frost.
big man himself, Sam Elliott. I couldn't have said it better myself. I'm the Nostalgia Critic, and a new year of madness is on the way.
Oh boy. He's always going on about that fucking Jack Frost movie. I'm losing my shit with him. Leave Jack Frost alone.
Remember, kids, some mother buckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Blade. That's a broken blade in the movie. There's always a motherfucker that's got a ice skate uphill. It's such a badass quote.
What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with you? I'll tell you what's the matter. You keep fucking picking on Jack Frost. But yeah, that was Ghost Rider. You know, it's a really cheesy sort of bad movie. But you know what? It is bad. Most of it's perhaps 80% of the whole entire movie sucks. But it does have its redeeming factors. You know, I love the special effects. You know, Nicolas Cage bursting into the Ghost Rider sort of flame skull thing. It's pretty cool. You know, it's 2020. I'm sure the graphics and CGI isn't as good as it is today. It hasn't aged well. It's not aged as fine as wine. But I really do enjoy the movie for the special effects and for the sort of comic sort of purposes. And that's really it. As for the rest of the movie, it's pretty boring. I gotta agree with Nostalgia Kick on that one. You know, this movie is gonna bore you to death, and even Nicolas Cage can save this one. You know, this Nicolas Cage really couldn't save this movie with his performance, but like I said, it's still something I would watch. You know, just to sort of enjoy something out like the Ghost Riders. But yeah, I think we can all agree the second movie sucks. So yeah, something to look forward to. You know, the Ghost Riders. What was it? Spirit of Vengeance. That second movie. Oh god, that makes me feel sick just thinking about that movie. It was just terrible. Bad CGI, bad story, bad plot, just bad everything. It wasn't even amusing. It was even worse than this one. So for you to start going, oh, what are you talking about? This movie was absolutely terrible. It was garbage. Yeah? Well, watch the bloody Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. And then you'll appreciate the first one more. And that's always what it seems. You know, there's always the first one everyone complains about how terrible it is. Then they release a second one and it's absolutely god-awful terrible. It's the fucking Antichrist. It is truly devil's hell on earth. It's Devil's Night from like The Crow. But yeah, but when you watch the first one, you kind of appreciate it a little bit more because the second one sucked so much bad. But that's not saying much. That's not really saying much because that's sort of a shit and piss comparison. So yeah, I like this movie mostly just for the special effects, sort of Marvel sort of comic outlook, and it can be cheap and gimmicky, you know, with the scary faces cropping up and the guy with the lantern. Yeah, what is this, 1940? Yeah, there are a lot of silly moments, but I still appreciate and enjoy this movie of somewhat what it does have to offer. It has a good sort of twist, and it's a sort of nice thing if you haven't heard about the Ghost Rider comics. So yeah, it is a nice sort of thing, and that's what I'll leave it at. But yeah. If you like this video, make sure to give a like, comment down below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.